So you're thinking about moving to Chicago, and the first thing that you need to be concerned about is cost of living. I totally understand that. Things like housing, utilities, and most of all, fun can cost a lot in a major city. So in this video, I'm going to reveal everything that you might expect on your big next move, including some of my own personal expenses, and at the end, some things that might catch you off guard. So sit back, grab a slice, as we get into it. Hey, what's good everybody? This is Andy Solesson, your go-to real estate resource for the Chicagoland area. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, play, live, and the cost of living in Chicago, then hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell so that you're notified each and every single time I make a new video. I'm getting calls each and every single day from people looking to move or relocate here that if you're thinking about moving to the Chicago area or the outside suburbs, you got to get in touch with me, because if you don't find that place now, someone else will. So shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a phone call, pigeon carrier, doesn't matter, days, nights, weekends, I got your back when you move to Chicago. And if you do all three, pizza's on me. So let's start this off by talking about what probably will be your biggest expense: housing. So first and foremost, your cost of housing will change dramatically depending on what neighborhood you're living in and what building type. But on the buy side, the median sales price in Chicago is right around $300,000 for detached homes and $150,000 for condos. For renters, on average, most people here pay about $900 for a studio apartment, $1,650 for a one bedroom, and $1,850 for a two bedroom. For myself, I'm living in a high-rise in downtown Chicago and I'm paying $1,900. Continuing with housing costs, let's get into utilities. Things like electricity, water, and gas. For most Chicagoans, on average, you're paying about $150 per month if you're living in apartments. However, if you want to live in a bigger home, like a house or something like that, you may have to double that. During the winter months, it does get a little bit rough outside, so you will get an increase in your usage, both in electricity and gas, if you're paying for those, mostly because of extended light usage and added heat. For me, on average, I'm paying around $120 per month. So you found the perfect place, but the next question that you have to answer is how you're going to get to work. And that leads us to our next topic: transportation. Now let me start this off by saying that if you're thinking about using public transportation and not a car, do it. The first thing that I did before I moved to Chicago was I sold my car because I knew I was going to take advantage of the great transit system. The CTA covers the entire city and brings you to not one, but two airports. And as of 2022, they've reduced their rates from $120 per month to only $80, and they eliminated the transfer fees. Come on guys, it's a no-brainer. And for those looking to commute from the suburbs, there's a regional train called the Metro that'll take you from the furthest suburbs to downtown Chicago for as little as $5. With the train and bus system, the occasional rideshare, and my weekday bike rides, I brought my transportation costs to only $110 per month. So if you're still thinking about bringing your car, you just absolutely have to have one. The first thing that you gotta figure out is where you're gonna park it, right? So if you're gonna be parking mostly downtown Chicago, you're gonna be wanting to look for a parking garage space. And those things run you for $250 to $350 per month. Now you could park on the meter, but that thing's like $2 an hour, and well, you do the math on that. Outside of downtown, you'll be using permits for street parking. And permits are basically these little stickers you stick on the inside of your windshield after 5 p.m. And I think it costs like $8 for a sheet of 30. So that's pretty affordable. If you're driving from outside the city, you'll more than likely hop on one of our toll roads. Yay! So with the toll roads, you'll get the best pricing with the iPass. And iPass is basically this plastic card. Again, you stick it on the inside of your windshield. The pricing isn't too bad. I did an estimate from downtown Chicago to a suburb about 45 minutes away. Costs about $5 round trip. You do have to pay the city sticker tax, which varies from $86 a year to $118 a year, depending on what kind of vehicle you drive. And lastly, gas. So in this city, on average, I've seen $3.75 to be the price per gallon. Now, if you go outside towards the suburbs, I've seen it as low as $2.75. So if you can, wait until you go out there before you fill up, because you really will need to save every penny you can for our next topic. That's right guys, food and entertainment, and easily one of the top 5 main things that makes Chicago stand out. We were just named one of the best food cities in the world, so if you love food as much as I do, you got a budget for this. Now for me, I spend about $75 for myself and a date at a good restaurant for a great meal. Now of course those numbers, with the city being as big as it is, you'll find the extremes of highs and lows quite easily. For all of my sports fans, expect a great experience at any of the stadiums for about $50 more if you want extras. One tip for Wrigley Field is signing up for their $15 raffle. I brought myself and 4 friends all to a game to enjoy the atmosphere for less than $75. Now if you're more like me, you're going to have a great time at the museums and the shows. For world-class museums like the Adler Planetarium, the Art Institute, or the Field Museum, outside of the free days for the city residents, expect to pay about $25 per person. If you're thinking about booking a ticket at one of the many renowned theaters in Chicago, expect to pay around $35 to $150 per person per ticket depending on the theater. As far as shopping is concerned, the cost of groceries is right around the national average, but the one thing that is different is that in Chicago we have a sales tax of 10.25%, which accounts for state, city, and county. Now that we've talked about the general costs, let's talk about some of the things that might catch you off guard. Things like schooling. First off, the public schooling in Chicago is really hit or miss. So if you're considering private tuition, expect to pay around $12,000 to $35,000 per semester. And when purchasing a property, the buyers are subject to a transfer tax stamp of $7 per $1,000 in purchase price. One tip for condos is that sometimes your HOA fees will include things like cable internet or even water, so I always make sure to ask before we decide to put an offer on a property. And finally, one cost that everyone seems to miss completely, and that's the dreaded Chicago cell phone tax, sitting at the nation's highest at 31%. So how much do you need to earn to live comfortably in Chicago? Well, right around $50,000, and that's based off all the numbers that I can come up with for you to enjoy Chicago and all it has to offer. In general, Chicago is a cultural hub that has diverse neighborhoods, robust public transportation, and world-class amenities, all while having a lower cost of living than the top 22 major cities of the US. The truth is, people here pay a price for the opportunities afforded to them, and the people who live in Chicago aren't the type who relax and let life pass them by. They live here with purpose to pursue their passions. I know that in my case, I am constantly going at my dreams each and every single day. So if you're thinking about chasing your dreams or curious about what your life would be like if you moved to Chicago, reach out to me and let's make it happen. Until next time, folks, I'll catch you later.